Hey everybody. It's quite early in the morning here, but we have Starlink launching later today and we got a press kit. So I'm going to update my original guess for the Starlink profile, and I just decided to record it so you guys and girls can watch along and see my process. Um, and this might also double up as a pretty cool way to show you how painfully manual my process is. And then hopefully you'll be more excited when I start posting things about how I'm automating my process to get rid of all this work. Um, so let's go for it. Two things we learned in the press kit: one, the payload mass, and two, the event times. So let's start off the payload mass. Well, actually, before we do anything, let me run what I have. So I'm hitting MECO around just below 200 kilometers. That's probably a bit too high. I probably want to hit MECO around 170 or SECO around 170, and I want to be rising pretty much all of that. See the way I fall at the end here a bit. I don't really want that. Maybe a small fall is okay. Like if I peak at 170 and then I SECO at like 167 or something, or 165, that's fine. But there's like what's it, 204? It's like 13. Well, it's not the worst, but ideally I would be able to not do that. My landing is good. I'm landing with zero velocity, and I'm landing on the drone ship. Just trust me on that one. What have I got left? I got about 5 tons left of fuel in the first stage, and after my second stage restart, which happens up here, I still have 5 tons left from there as well. So I have a bit of fuel to play with, which is good because my guess for the payload mass was 10 tons, and as we found out in the press kit, which is here, each satellite weighs 227 kilograms, and there are 60 of them. So 227 by 60, 13,620 tons. What's our dV before? So we had 11 kilometers a second of dV before, 13,620. Now we have 10.3. So we've lost about 700 meters per second of delta V based on my old guess. Let's just run this. Let's not update the flight profile. Let's just run this and see what happens. Oof, didn't even... Technically it's orbit, but with a perigee at 50 kilometers, that'll decay pretty fast. Yeah, look at that decaying right there. What's my SECO velocity? So I'm about 300 or 400 meters per second short of a good SECO velocity, but obviously my altitude is crap. SECO velocity should be about 7,400, because this velocity is relative to the surface of the Earth, as you can tell by us beginning at 0. So low Earth orbit velocity is 7,800, but the Earth spins at roughly 400, so SECO velocity is 7,800 minus 400, which is 7,400. What else? My landing, I'm still landing at 0 velocity, which is good. My landing burn throttle is at 99%. Let's see where I'm landing. Where is the drone ship? There's the drone ship. I'm a little bit short of the drone ship there. That's a few kilometers short, actually. So I need to give the first stage a bit more juice. Giving the first stage more juice is a bit annoying because the more propellant that I spend during the launch to send it further, the faster I'm going, and the less propellant that I have left to kill that speed in my entry and landing burns. So every extra ton of propellant that I spend going up, I need like 2 tons to slow myself down from that. And I don't have so much first stage fuel to play with. I have 7 tons, so it's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. Let's go back and stick in our recently discovered event times. So I need to close all the other things. Miko at 231, separation 3 seconds later, and second stage 10 seconds later. So that's 151 seconds. Miko at 151. Okay, so 5 seconds later than I thought it was, which is good. Maybe there's a little bit of extra throttling that I haven't accounted for here. So Miko at 151. So I'm going to start from here, from this guy. I'm going to add 5 seconds to all of these events. Because if I make him 151, he'll jump to here and he'll jump back, and then I can lose my order. So I'm going to start from the top, and I'll put him as 163, 163 to 165. Second stage ignition we know is 161. First stage SEP is 156, which means I'll have him at 157. I'll explain all this in a second there. 152. So, what happened there was there's a bunch of events in quick succession here, right? So there's a stage 1 throttle, which is the throttle down before Miko, so it's going down to 50%. So I like to do that just in the last 2 seconds before Miko. So I had to change that for the new Miko time. I had to change the new Miko time. I had to change the separation time. As soon as the stages separate, stage 2 is floating there, has no guidance, so I immediately start this stage 2 guidance just to keep it going until 163, which is after the ignition. And that's like, this is just keeping it at a constant elevation, which is the elevation that stage 1 finished at. It's a bit of a hack. And then at 163, once the ignition has happened, I begin a decent guidance maneuver, like a 40-second long maneuver then, to get down to elevation of 20. Likewise, I have to throttle up after ignition. That should be 162 actually. 162. Because ignition is 161. So I ignite the engines at 161, and then at 162, I throttle up. For, it takes about 3 seconds to throttle up. That's probably not realistic. I actually don't know how long it takes to throttle up the engines. So, okay, that's that period of flight. Fairing deployment at 180, 210, 213 seconds. Oh my god, I didn't even have a fairing deployment in my original guess. How embarrassing is that? What did I say? 213? Is that what I said? 180, yeah, 213. Entry burn complete at 6:43. That's weird. Usually they give entry burn startup time. Entry burn complete at 6:43. So 360, 403 seconds. It's earlier than I thought it was. About 50 seconds earlier than I thought. Big question here is that's probably this one, the second shutdown. So when we have an entry burn ignition and an entry burn shutdown, first the center engine ignites, and then the 2 outside engines ignite. So there's 3. And then at the end of it, the 2 outward engines cut off, and then the center engine cuts off. So that's what these guys imply. This first one is just lighting 1 engine, and then this one is lighting 2 more. And then you shut down 2, and then you shut down 1, right? So this entry burn shutdown time is probably this guy. So I need to take 50 seconds off this to match the press kit time. So I'm going to take 50 seconds off all the entry burn times. So let's go from 428 back to 378, back to 380. Generally, an entry burn begins once the stage enters the atmosphere. So when the aerodynamic pressure gets to like 500 pascals or something like that, that's when the entry burn starts. So I'm going to run a sim, and I'm going to see when the aerodynamic pressure gets to that level. And then I'm going to start the entry burn based on that. So I need to run this first to see when it comes in, and then I can use that information to go back and tweak and run it again. So for what did I say I'm taking off? 30 seconds? 50 seconds. 401 and 403. And then the last one was the first stage landing. So this is landing burn finish. This is when the landing actually happens. So that's at 480, 497. Landing burns take about 30 seconds. So let's just guess that the landing burn begins at 467, 417. Okay. For now, I'm going to leave it turned off. I'm not going to do a landing burn. Reason being, because I haven't run this sim yet and I've changed a bunch of things. So I don't know at 470 how high up my stage is going to be. So if I'm way, way too high up and I start doing landing burn calculations, like figuring out, okay, if I light throttle here now, what's the best one to get down to the ground? And it'll come to the conclusion, no, I'm too high. Try again in the next time step. And the next time step, it'll do it again. Next time step, it'll do it again. And it'll take forever to come down. The landing burn logic is really good, but it's slow if you do it too early. So I'm not going to do it yet. I'm going to see how high up I am at 470, and I'll judge then. Seco is at 485.26. 7 seconds later than I originally had. Okay, that makes sense considering we have a heavier payload. So 26. My throttle before Seco will also be later. So let's say 24 to 26. And then this guidance wasn't going to make it quite to the end. Let's give him a little bit extra there. Restart is at 46 minutes 11 seconds. What's that in seconds? Plus 11 is 2771 seconds is the restart, and the cutoff is 3 seconds later. So restart is at 2771. Cutoff is at 2774, which means that what's this restart prep and guidance? Prep guidance. Right, okay, so what these two events are doing, these were before the ignition in my old times. Let's just put these back to something like, I don't know, 2600 to 2700, and then 2700 to 2800. What's happening here is that this event is beginning at 2600 seconds, and it's getting us to this heading, which is obviously something that I have figured out experimentally in previous simulations to be pointing exactly backwards. And it'll get us there at this time. And then at this time, we have a different guidance event with the exact same parameters, which will just maintain us there. And as you can see, the ignition cutoff happened inside this time range. So that means that the ignition cutoff will happen while we're being held at that 0 degree elevation and 103 degrees azimuth. So it'll just make sure that we're at this heading for the entire duration of the burn. Again, that's not very pretty. All right, so that is all of the press kit event times put in. So let's just run this and see what happens. I haven't changed any of my elevation profiles or my throttle profiles, so this will probably be a disaster. Yeah, look at this. My landing burn is happening at 83 kilometers altitude. That's why I didn't want to activate it yet. So what this is telling me is that I need to pitch over faster, because I'm giving it too much vertical velocity and it's taking way too long to come back down. What else? And that's also evident. I said I wanted to be at like 170 here, so I'm about 40 kilometers too high with second stage. So I have about 40 kilometers of altitude that I can remove by pitching over faster. How's my? Oh yeah, I have no propellant left in my first stage, and that's before I even do a landing burn. Oh, look at this! Look at this! My entry burn is way too long, and I can't tell when it's re-entering because my elevation is wrong and it's staying up too high. Like at about 80 kilometers, or in here, just below my supposed landing burn, is when the atmospheric pressure, the aerodynamic pressure, would start to be non-zero. So I'm way too high. Okay, so a few things to do. I'm going to start by doing some throttling of the first stage on the way up, because right now I'm at like 94, 95% the whole way. Actually, where am I landing? That's a good question. Where am I landing? I'm not going way too far. I'm still not going far enough. That's probably because I did a massive entry burn. Look at that. That entry burn is completely, yeah. That entry burn has completely stopped me. I would have gone over here probably. Okay, so that's nothing to worry about. I can definitely pitch over more, and that'll also bring my landing point back towards the drum ship. Okay. All right, lots to do. Let's plug in. Ooh, my coffee's going cold. Tepid. Shit. Okay, so let's start with some light throttling. Just from experience, I've noticed that 93.5% throttle seems to match SpaceX's Block 5 max throttle. I don't know if that's because my throttle settings are wrong or because they never go to full or what's going on, but I'm going to use that number for the moment. I'm going to throttle down not so deep, maybe to like 85, and I'll throttle back up again. It's going to be a max Q thing, which is like 45 to 55. And then stage 1, throttle back up from 65 to 70, back up to 0.935. Let's just try that. How's my propellant mass? Okay, that means doing that alone has given me almost 7 tons of propellant for my landing burn, which is better than 0.7 before. Okay, that's a good start. Let's have a look at my elevation. I need to drop faster. So right now, my first stage elevation is going from 90 degrees. It's pitching over around 20 seconds, and it's finishing at about 28 degrees. That needs to drop faster. Maybe I could target like 20, 25. Or even if I drop to 28, but instead of the curve being here, the curve could be lower like this. It drops faster and then levels out. That would also have an effect of just turning faster. Let's do both. Let's aim for 25 at Miko. So taking 3 off these guys. I've obviously copied this from an old mission. Recently, I've been doing a thing where I try and have a guidance maneuver every like 20 seconds or so I can give it real fine-tuned curve. You could go every 10 seconds or 15 seconds if you want, but I've been doing 20. But check this out. There's a pitch kick at 20, guidance at 50, guidance at 65, and then 70. Oh, that's a throttle. Rename that. So 50, 70, and then nothing until 120, and then 130, 140. So I'm going to put in some guidance maneuvers for 90 and 110. So guidance, stage 1, 90 to 110, and then another one from 110 to 130. And the one at 130 is going to finish at 28 like before. Originally I wanted to be at 41 at 120. This is going to be 90 now. And I'll just drop to 55. I don't know. 45. Drop faster. Drop faster. 40. 50. 62. 73. Guess numbers. Basically, the idea is just drop faster and finish lower. That's more like it. I'm still too high. Well, at least my entry burn is starting too high, I think. My landing burn altitude looks really good. That's only a few kilometers too high. Landing burn should begin around like 3 kilometers or like 5 kilometers. So that's really, really good. And also landing burn velocity should be less than the speed of sound. You always hear stage 1 is transonic, and then like 3 or 4 seconds later, stage 1 landing burn is started. So transonic is at like between 300 and 400 meters per second. So the landing burn, I aim to have it around 300 meters per second. So as you can tell, I pretty good there. Let's see where it's landing. Let's see where this is making me land. Still landing too short. Still landing too short. Okay, so maybe the problem is that 25 is too low. I need a little bit of extra velocity and a little bit of extra range actually. I'll increase those numbers towards the end. And then obviously my second stage guys is going to need to keep pointing up for longer before tipping over. So my second stage is currently dropping to 5 degrees towards the end. Maybe I'll keep him around 10. So drop to around 10 over the course of those 350 seconds. So a little bit more range. These guys, my stage 2 will begin at 28. Chill it. 25, 22. 18. I'm aiming to be at around 10 degrees at Seco. Okay. Last one. Make him say 10. That's fine. Okay. You know, it's like a draw a line, wouldn't it? If I could just be like, hey, follow this line. Better. Seems I'm going too slow at Seco. Have I throttled? Oh, I have throttled. Get rid of those throttles in stage 2. Leave the last one. I'll leave this one before Seco. But this one, no, get rid of that. And this one, yeah, get rid of that. Now we're talking. Check this out. We got stage 2 in orbit. I'm going to turn off this restart, this stage 2 ignition, because that's weird. All right, our stage 2 is in orbit at a pretty nice Seco altitude. It could be better. It falls a little bit too much for my liking. If it didn't go so high, if it went up to like 170 and then dropped to 165, I'd be happy with that. That's kind of what they do for GTO missions. When they do, and then they do a second stage restart over the equator. And I think they're going to do something similar here. It's the first Starlink mission, so I don't know. My intuition is that they will do something similar because going to that really low 167 kilometer Seco altitude means that you've spent as little as possible of your delta V on gravity. You're not going up too high. You're going up literally as high as you need to be, and no more than that. And all the rest of your delta V is going sideways. So, and then like once you're at 167, you can go a little bit faster, and that'll make your apogee go higher. And once you get there, then you can circularize. So it doesn't matter what orbit you're going to if you're doing a second stage restart. Your perigee can be whatever you want because you're going to change it anyway during your restart. So I think they're going to do something similar to GTO missions here where they'll Seco at around like 165, 170 kilometers. Okay, where am I landing? Closer, but still not far enough. Not far enough. Okay. Seven tons of propellant is plenty for a landing burn. Oh, when am I landing? Landing is meant to happen at 497. I'm landing way too late. Okay, so I'm landing short, which means that I need to kind of aim higher, I think, to get more range. But that will give me more flight time, which will make that landing burn go even later. It's already too late. It's already too late by like 20 seconds. So I need to make that entry burn much shorter so it doesn't slow me down so much in the upper atmosphere. So I know when the entry burn has to finish. So I'm going to bring the start time forward. I think 5 seconds is too little, but 10 seconds is way too much. Let's go with like 8 seconds or something. 8 and 8. My landing is now pretty spot on. Okay, as in the timing is spot on. It's meant to be 497, and it's crashing into the ocean there at 493. If I was doing a landing burn, which should begin at around 477, then that might be good. A little bit too late. 5:06, 10 seconds too late. It's good though. That is really good. Where am I? Where am I landing? Am I still too short? Probably, because I didn't change anything about the ascent. I made the entry burn shorter, so I should go further, but I'm still not far enough, I think. Oh! Oh, crap. I take that back. That's close. And I went too far. Oh, crap. Okay, cool. Cool. Cool, okay. I have the range. I can actually pull back a bit on the range. And I need to land sooner. Oh yeah, what's my trick for the entry burn start? Yeah, there we go. This is kilopascals. So around 0.5, I think is when entry burn should start. And this is my entry burn actually. Starts there at 0.1 and finishes at 0.5. So going by my rule, I should pitch down a bit to make that entry burn happen at a lower altitude. And I have 7 tons of propellant left in the first stage, so I could do a longer entry burn. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna pitch the first stage down more. Maybe I'll do it earlier in the flight. So instead of having a straight line curve here, I'll have more of a down and across curve. So this guy here, I'll keep constant at 130, and I'll work backwards. So 130. So I want to keep him constant. So let me take 1 off him. I'll take 2 off him, and I'll take 3 off him. And I will leave the pitch kick the way it is. The kick should really only be a tiny thing. It shouldn't be a 30-second long event. So I'll change this. This is going to be my 30 to 50 event. And I will copy this azimuth into my new pitch kick. Stage 1. I need to rename this Stage 1 guidance. And I'll call this new one pitch kick from 15 to 20 seconds. And it's only going to go to 85. Ooh, my second stage looks nice. First stage, it's coming down at pretty much the right time, but it's going down too fast. I think maybe my entry burn needs to be like a second or two sooner. Oh, it's agreeing with my rule perfectly, being 0.5 kilopascals. Maybe I could begin it sooner. Yeah, it's like 265. If I begin it at 300, like I said, that's 470. Let's try and begin it at 470. Or like 470. I'll take 5 seconds off. 472. Okay, my landing is a second and a half late. So I'm okay with that. Speed's a little bit low for the landing burn startup. I might actually go earlier with the landing burn. Let's see where I'm landing. Oh, crap. What? How did that happen? What? Why are you... Did I... What? What? Why is that happening? I don't know, Jerry. Why is the azimuth crap? What? What did I do? What did I change? I changed the pitch kick, but I brought the azimuth with me. Alright, you know what? Let's just try and fix it. I don't know what I've done there. I have a suspicion about what that might be, but it shouldn't be that way. I recently converted pitch and yaw to elevation azimuth. And my pitch and elevation have the same definition, but my yaw was counterclockwise from east and my azimuth is clockwise from north. So I had to convert those. And for a while, I needed to leave code to deal with both. Did that fix anything? I'm gonna, yeah, I know what it is. I know. Oh, that's dangerous. Oh crap, I know what it is. So every event now has a pitch, a yaw, an elevation, and an azimuth because I'm trying to. So even though I've removed the azimuth from this event, the pitch and yaw fields are still there, but they're hidden. So this event still has a pitch. So when it's getting sent to the backend, that pitch is getting dealt with. But it gives precedence to azimuth. So if azimuth exists, it uses azimuth. If azimuth doesn't exist, it uses pitch. And I had updated the azimuth to be a nice value, but that didn't update the pitch. And now that azimuth is taken away, it's using the pitch, it's using that old value. So I need to just delete this event and recreate it, and it'll be fine. So this is from 30 to 50, and it's 69 elevation. 30 to 50 to 69 elevation. Drum roll. Oh, it's been like an hour. Come on, Starlink, I'm sick of you. Okay, landing velocity is good. Landing time is fine. What else? Where am I landing? My landing. Ooh, too far. What? Now what? The longer the entry burn is, the longer it will take to come down, and I'm already landing a little bit too late. So I don't want to do that. Yeah, leave that. Leave it the way it is. And just drop a little bit faster. +39 +9 +9 +7. I'm going way too. What is going on? Why am I going too far now? And why is my azimuth suddenly wrong? There's my boat. So I need to be going. Oh, I'm gone all shaky. My computer just died there. Because I guess because the file that I was recording got too big or something. I don't know. Okay, where were we? I'm landing too late. Landing location is still too far. I was so close, like a few goes ago. What did I do wrong? What did I break? Well, I'm landing too late and I'm going too far. So easy solution to that is to drop my elevation some more. And it's going to be a shallow launch. You could drop to 56. Maybe drop to 46. Now it's landing early. Good sign. Why won't this stage die? It's landing early and it's going too far. Let's give it an extra second or two. Landing at 1 second too early. Still way too far. This guy at 50. I think he could drop 2 more. Oh no, my video is frozen. Okay, come on. Come on. Landing. Where are you landing? So, why won't you come closer? Are you. What is going on? I'm sure I left. Do a long range again. 2 seconds longer. This stage 1 is wrecking my head. It's only the landing. Oh, I cannot wait to have this automated. Oh my god, I'm spending so much time doing this. It's not like I can just put something out there for the photographers and then come back and do this for my own enjoyment. No, like this. This affects the ascent. Okay, now I'm landing like 4 seconds too late. Actually, you know what? I could just check my downrange distance on the downrange distance plot. It should be 621. It isn't getting any closer. Nothing I do is making this any closer. 18 kilometers too far. Stage 1 throttle here. Max Q is at like 75. So my throttle is a bit premature. Throttle back up from 75 to 80. Throttle down from 55 to 60. So that's 5 extra seconds. It's throttling down faster. More. So it's not going to be going as fast at Miko. It's not going to go as far. Which means I'll probably need to undo some of my entry burn things. But I'll have more fuel left, so I could do an entry burn if I wanted to. So maybe I'll need to pitch up some more, because my second stage is dropping. Yeah, landing is too soon. Much better. Still too far, but much better. So when I throttle back up, just go up to like 93 or something. And add 1 to all of these. At 6:23, fine. That's fine. What time? 495.6. I'm okay with this. Honestly, I just want this mission to die. I'm a little bit too low in the second stage. So don't drop so fast here. We're at 350. Everything from 350 onwards, add like 2 or 3 to it. I'm gonna say I landed too early and a little bit too far. Let's give my entry burn an extra second. For the crack, what is happening to my camera? computer is dying. What's happening? This is too much. $160 drops to one. You know what? I'm going to end the video here because that's close enough. And you've seen the process. You've seen how crap it is, how it sucks. And my computer is dying. My computer can't take this anymore. It can't handle recording. So I'm going to stop it there. I'm going to keep working on this a little bit more. And I hope you learned something about how I hate my job. And I hope my frustration at this is going to make you very excited when I automate this entire process and I don't have to do it anymore. And I can focus on just fixing bugs instead of spending all my time building flight profiles. Cool. If you watched this far, I am sorry, but thank you.